Well, all I really got to say is thank you, Randy, for preventing us the horrifying nightmare of seeing Alexa Bliss as the Raw Women's Champion. And honestly, did you guys expect anything less? This is Randy Orton. If you're gonna throw a fireball at somebody, then you know that certain somebody is going to retaliate. Especially if that certain someone showed compassion to you, but yet you still decide to throw a fireball at him. And no, it had nothing to do with him taking the Fiend away from her. She literally just did it because she wanted to. She never said, I did it because he took the Fiend from me. She never said that. Randy Orton said that he showed compassion. To her. And she retaliates by burning his face. So we all know who's in the wrong here, and that was Alexa Bliss. Oh, but Randy Orton, he's the heel. He's the bad guy. He's the villain. He's the villain of this story. Give me a break. Give me a break. I hate that WWE is trying to sell me on Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt as the heroes of this story. Seriously. It's like making Batman and Joker the hero of it's like making Harley Quinn and the Joker the heroes of Batman. And Batman's the bad guy. It's so damn stupid. WWE, you are not selling me on that. You're not selling me that Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt are the heroes. We all know Randy Orton is the real hero in this story because he stopped that nasty Alexa Bliss from ruining that Raw Women's Championship by having her ugly mitts on it. She's already had like 7 title runs. And she's already had like 7 title runs and a Money in the Bank win. We so need to see Alexa Bliss as our champion again. Yeah, we so need to. But thank you, Randy. So what does this mean for the Royal Rumble? Well, I don't know. Probably Alexa Bliss is probably going to win the Royal Rumble now. But I would still say Bianca Belair should win the Royal Rumble no matter what. Bianca Belair is the only person that WWE should have as penciled in to win their Royal Rumble. But I'm pretty sure that they would have multiple people penciled in. They've probably got Charlotte Flair as a possibility, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bayley. They've probably got a lot of people, you know, they've probably got a few choices. But if I was running WWE, I'd have Bianca Belair as my winner, no matter who's in the Rumble. But I guess only time will tell. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, I'll talk about this real quick and then we'll get into the review. I would rather not review this entire show because this show's garbage, but I gotta do what I gotta do, man. Gotta do my job. But anyway. Anyway. WWE has announced that they're bringing back WWE Backstage. They're gonna have Renee Young, Paige, and Booker T. Bloody Paige. Really? You're gonna put her on WWE Backstage after the shit that she caused with the whole Twitter stuff? Twitch, not Twitter. You're gonna put her on WWE Backstage after all the Twitch shit that she caused? Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to hear Booker T and Paige pick Carmella to beat Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble. Can't wait. Can't wait. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. WWE Backstage revealed that they are going to be revealing the number 30 entrant for the men's Royal Rumble and the number 1 and number 2 entrants in the women's Royal Rumble. Why? Why would you do that? The Royal Rumble is supposed to be a surprise. The Royal Rumble is supposed to be shock and surprise. Who's number 1? Who's number 2? Who's number 3? Who's number 30? Like, we're supposed to be surprised. But yet you're just going to tell us who's number 30 and number 1 and number 2 are? That is just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous, and it's stupid. It takes away the surprise factor. Especially for the men. Especially for the men. Yeah, we don't know who number 30 is for the women. And yeah, we don't know who number 1 and number 2 is for the men. For the men. Well, we do know who number 30 is going to be for the men. We don't know who's number 30 is going to be for the women. But, still, it takes away the shock factor. It's like when we're watching the Royal Rumble, it's like, well, we know who number 30 is because bloody Paige or whoever is in charge of this stupid thing is going to tell us. Seriously, to me, it's just silly. And it takes away the shock factor. It just takes away. It just ruins the Royal Rumble. It just takes away the surprise. Who's to say that these... And who's to say the people that they reveal in these number spots, who's to say they are the ones that actually win? Who's to say the number 30 entrant in the men's Royal Rumble is actually penciled in to win the Royal Rumble? Who's to say that number 1 and number 2 in the women's Royal Rumble is penciled in to win? Who's to say any of those numbers are actually the official winner? Who's to say that? Then that just ruins it even more. Because every single year when I watch the Royal Rumble with my family, with my brother and my dad, we always, and I mean always, we always write down a sheet of paper. We always write down on a sheet of paper our guesses in the Royal Rumble match. We already know who, like, it's like we'll write down, we will always write down certain categories. Who's number 1? Who's number 2? Who's the number 30 entrant? Who's gonna be the first person eliminated? Who's gonna be in the final 4? And who is going to win the match? Those are the things we do. And imagine how ridiculous imagine how ridiculous it would feel to know who number 1 and number 2 is from the women and who number 30 is going to be. That takes away. That kind of takes away what we like to do. Yeah, we'd do it. Yeah, we'd still be able to do it for the women, and we'd still be able to do it for the men. Number 1 and number 2, but still, it just ruins it. It really just does. It's just silly. It's just really, really silly to me. So you guys are probably thinking, well, Patrick, who do you think is taking these numbers? I think number 30 is going to be the Fiend. I really think number 30 is going to be the Fiend. Why would they just straight up say the Fiend is number 30? Well, you know, WWE, they could just do that. Do I think it will be him? No, I'm pretty sure they'll have him enter the Rumble as like some kind of surprise to get Randy Orton eliminated, because we all know that's what WWE is doing here. We all know that's what WWE is doing. Having Randy be in the Rumble until the Fiend comes out. We all know that's what they're doing. But if I had to guess who's number 30, it's probably going to be Edge. Because Edge declared his entry in the Royal Rumble today. It's probably going to be Edge. And who's number 1 and number 2? if you guys are gonna ask me, who do I think number 1 and number 2 for the women will be? I reckon number 1 will be Charlotte. I reckon they're probably gonna do some kind of angle where Ric Flair and Lacey Evans kind of like, I just think maybe Charlotte Flair could just be number 1. Maybe number 2 is Bianca Belair again. Maybe it's Bayley. It literally could be anybody. But let me tell you this. If they're just going to straight up tell you these numbers, then it's going to be someone big. They're going to put someone big in that spot. They're not just going to say, yeah, number 1 is Dana Brooke. Yeah, number 2 is Mandy Rose. Yeah, not like they're just going to say, yeah, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, they're going to start the Royal Rumble, and we're all, like, underwhelmed. They are clearly going to put someone like Charlotte at number 1, or someone like Bayley, or Bianca in that spot. They are clearly going to have some big names planted in that spot. You know. If they're just going to straight up reveal who's in the match, straight up reveal that entry number, you know they're going to put someone big there, like Charlotte. As for the men, it might end up being AJ Styles, or Edge, like I said, or hell, it could be even Randy Orton. You got so many choices. But the reality is I don't like it. The reality is I do not like the idea of WWE just straight up telling us who the entry numbers are going to be. I could just end this video right now and, just call it a night. Because I do not want to talk about the rest of this show, but I wouldn't be doing my job now, would I? So let's just go ahead and talk about the rest of this crappy Raw. Let's just go ahead and talk about the rest of this crappy show, shall we? So the show began with Drew McIntyre confronting Goldberg. Now when Goldberg's music played, for some reason a part of me thought they were going to have that idiot Gillberg come out again. Kind of like swerve everybody thinking that Goldberg wasn't there. But he did come out. Goldberg came back to say one sentence. You're next. To Drew McIntyre. Miz and Morrison were out there trying to stir the pot. And then they get their asses kicked for all their trouble. The first match on the show is Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler. Now, as much as I like this match on paper, the match didn't even last long, and this is the thing that I hate. They had this match promoted. They promoted this match. Now, I get it, you don't want to have Charlotte lose, or you don't want to have Shayna Baszler lose. If that is the case, then why did you book this match? If you knew the entire time that you did not want either woman to take a loss here, why do this? Why book matches if you don't want either person to lose? I would rather a winner and a loser. I would rather have a winner and a loser. I would rather Charlotte lose the match by Lacey Evans causing distractions on the outside, or you just have Charlotte straight up beat her. Or you have Shayna surprise everybody and straight up beat Charlotte. But all I'm saying is that why do a match like this? Because this, like, as much as I don't like Shayna Baszler, this is a WrestleMania caliber match. This is something that fans want to see, like Charlotte versus Shayna. It's like a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view worthy match. It's a pay-per-view worthy match, and you're just going to give us, like, not even a minute of these two in the ring, and Charlotte is just, and you're going to have Nia Jax cause the DQ. WWE.com says it's a no contest, but we all know Nia caused the DQ. So Charlotte won by disqualification. Then Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke came down, and then Lacey came down as well, and it got turned into a 6-woman's tag. Got turned into a 6-woman's tag team match. Holla, 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 player! Charlotte's team won by count out, but then Shayna, Nia, and Lacey were protesting, and the match got restarted. Really? Really? You're just gonna restart the match? If that wasn't supposed to if the match wasn't supposed to end like that, then I guess maybe I could understand. But seriously, this match didn't need to be restarted. This match seriously didn't need to be restarted. I love Charlotte, I love Mandy, I love Dana, but this is how you ruin women's wrestling, by putting them in situations where it just looks like they just don't even care. Like, this match just wasn't great at all. This just wasn't great at all. To me, it just feels like these women just do not give a shit. Well, I can't really blame the talent. It feels like Vince and creative just do not give a shit. Vince is just... It's like Vince is like minutes during the show, and the creative's like, Vince, what do you want to do with the rest of the women that we're using on the show, like Charlotte and all that? Let's just put Charlotte against Shayna Baszler, and we'll have Nia Jax cause the DQ within a minute. Then we'll set up a 6-woman's tag. We'll have Charlotte's team win by count out, and then we'll have the heels whine and complain, and then we'll have the match restarted. Then we'll have the heels win. Seriously, is this the best you could do? This is how you ruin women's wrestling. Like I said before, you went through the effort to announce this match on WWE.com. You went out of your way to announce this match as a big deal. Or tune into Monday Night Raw. Charlotte's going to take on Shayna Baszler. You treated this as a big deal, and you have Nia Jax cause the DQ within 60 seconds. Maybe even less. I would have much rather Lacey Evans come to the ring, cause a distraction. Shayna puts Charlotte in the clutch, and Charlotte taps. No joke, I would have rathered that. Because at least that way we would have actually had a damn winner. To me, that's what made most sense. Storyline-wise, it made sense for Lacey to come to the ring, cause a distraction, and Charlotte is to lose. But I guess in the end, Charlotte did lose, right? Because Nia Jax pinned Dana Brooke. Whatever, man. It wasn't great. As much as I love Mandy, Dana, and Charlotte, this just wasn't great. Then we had Xavier Woods face off against Shane Thorne, Slapjack. And of course, if any member of Retribution is to lose, it has to be the Australian. It has to be him. But I guess Xavier had to get a win, right? He had to get a win eventually, right? But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Xavier Woods may have won. It didn't matter because Retribution beat his ass down anyway. Ali made his intentions to be a part of the Royal Rumble because Kofi Kingston isn't going to be there. Why do I feel like they're building to Kofi Kingston returning at the Royal Rumble? Because why have Ali straight up say Kofi Kingston is not going to be at the Royal Rumble? Unless he's seriously not going to be there, or they're just saying this to build up tension to Kofi Kingston returning. There's no way Kofi Kingston has a broken jaw. There's no way he's going to be out for a long period of time. A broken jaw doesn't keep you out for months. So I really, really think they're building to something with Kofi Kingston returning. Secondly, why is Ali now mad at Kofi Kingston? It took him like 2 years to be mad at Kofi for stealing his thunder in 2019. Yes, I get it. He wasn't a heel. Yes, I get it. He wasn't a heel when this happened. But you could have easily built But that would have been the perfect time to turn him heel. When Kofi became WWE Champion. You had the perfect tools to make him a heel then. But WWE just didn't have anything for him when he was injured and when he came back. That's why they created the Hacker storyline. That's why they created the Hacker. And they had the Hacker target the New Day. Remember all those people that the Hacker was targeting? Dana Brooke, New Day, Usos, Sasha and Bayley, all the people that the Hacker was turning his attention to, Bliss and Nikki, all the people he was turning his attention to, all of them. That was the sign. That was the sign there that they should have pulled the trigger. But no, they wanted this retribution thing on Raw. They could have easily had this on SmackDown. When the New Day was still on SmackDown. But Xavier Woods defeated Shane Thorne. Because of course he did. Because the Australian has to lose. Ali didn't get mad at Shane Thorne for losing. So I guess there is failure now in retribution. Because Ali went completely nuts. When Mia Yim couldn't beat Dana Brooke. Seriously. Is Ali either going to be mad when his Retribution members lose, or is he going to be okay with them losing? Make up your mind. Then we had Sheamus. Someone I actually like and care about. He took on John Morrison. Awesome. Yeah, I really wanted to see John Morrison. Sheamus defeated John Morrison with the white noise. Surprising. It's very, very surprising. The reason why I'm surprised is because he normally wins matches with the bro kick, but he actually won a match with the white noise. White noise, white noise, white noise. Isn't that a Nickelback song? White Noise? I think that's a Nickelback song. Am I the only one that kind of notices that Sheamus's moveset changes depending on if he's a face or a heel? Because when he's a heel, I don't think I've noticed him doing it lately, but when he's a heel, he does the Irish Curse backbreaker, but then when he's a babyface, he does the white noise. Am I the only one that notices that? Or if people, or is that just me? Because I don't think he does the Irish Curse backbreaker anymore, ever since he turned to face. But anyway, we had another situation where a superstar had to earn their way into the Royal Rumble. And why is it always AJ Styles? I don't get it. But AJ Styles beat R-Truth. Okay, whatever. Don't really care. Don't really care. I've given up on this whole superstars declaring, but some have to earn their way in. I've given up on that. Then Matt Riddle had to beat the Hurt Business, excluding Bobby Lashley, in a gauntlet match to earn a title shot against Bobby Lashley. But this is where Cedric Alexander starts causing issues again. He distracts Shelton Benjamin to allow him to get pinned by Matt Riddle. And then it was MVP's turn. And the moment MVP turns away, Cedric and Shelton just start yelling at each other. And then MVP turns around and tells them to stop arguing. And then Riddle locks in a submission hold and MVP taps out. Yep, just like that. 5 seconds. 5 seconds, he taps out. In literally 5 seconds. Piss weak. Piss weak. MVP, absolutely piss weak. Then Cedric Alexander was the last guy in. MVP and Shelton were pissed off at Cedric Alexander. It was up to him now to stop Riddle from getting a title shot. But he would end up getting, but Cedric would end up losing, because, yeah, of course he did. Because, of course, he had to, because apparently we're all supposed to get behind Riddle. Vince McMahon is trying to book... Vince is trying to book Matt Riddle as the underdog babyface, and it's failing miserably. But, yeah, Lashley would end up coming to the ring. He would put the Hurt Lock on Riddle, and Riddle was waving his hands in the air like he just didn't care. Seriously. And you guys obviously know what the main event was. Asuka and Alexa Bliss. I talked about that at the start. Man, what a piece of shit Raw this was. Also, there was a segment with Ric Flair and Lacey Evans being very, very inappropriate. And it led to Charlotte Flair getting in Ric Flair's face and just saying what she had to say, saying she's not the bad guy. And then Lacey Evans would end up would return and punch Charlotte in the face with the women's right, and that's pretty much it. So that was pretty much that. Just don't care, man. Like, I love Charlotte to death, but if WWE is making me not care about Charlotte, someone that I admire, someone who helped save my love for women's wrestling, then you know you're doing something wrong. End this crap. Seriously, end this crap. But that's all I got for you guys for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all next time.